where it's about boardroom style of arrangement. You engage each and everybody through many ways of communication. Eye contact, how calm are you when somebody's making a point. If you disagree, it has to show in your face. Are you presenting a very amicable position in terms of your posture, in terms of the way you actually contribute, you make your point clearer? Are you speaking much more clear? Are you speaking much more assertive? These are some of the things that we want to test, so that at least we give feedback to each and everyone. The point is not to evaluate, really, but it's to make sure that each and every one of us are developing those competences, and we can actually say that, well, when you're speaking, your tone and pace is too fast, or your tone and pace is too slow. When we do it, you realize that you pick up, the good practices, so to speak, that will help you in your meetings at work, and especially if you have to kind of represent your business in other jurisdictions, And I know that in GIJ, for example, they do media training, for example. They ask companies actually subscribe to them, or they apply to them for them to teach them how do you behave in front of the camera. You understand? These are practical stuff that they do. And I think that it is good for us to also learn these, because one way or the other, you end up in the public lab. If not in politics, perhaps your company will find itself at a commission like what is going on. You've got to represent, and you've got to have the guts to speak in front of the camera without shaking. You understand my point? So that's why I think this seminar is very crucial. And Socratic is actually on point when he says that you can develop knowledge by having a genuine kind of dialogue. You understand? Now, I'm sure some of you might have, seen or might have read who he is. And again, in the questioning, you can actually ask, who is Socrates anyway? You understand? It's an open-ended question you can ask. No question is proper. Everything else is on the table. You can clarify, you can ask questions to seek clarification, you can ask questions to provoke certain, deep thought, kind of answers and everything else. So I think that's the essence of what we're doing. Now, in your pack, number 3, page number 3. Okay, let's say page number 2. I think you've read it, so I will pass it. Page number 3. It says, speak loudly and clearly, cite reasons and evidence for your statement. Use the text to find support. So somebody may ask a question, maybe the answer lies in the text. So it's good for you to be highlighting. Once the group leader reads, you'll be highlighting, because the group leader will be reading the text clearly for everybody to. And then you'll be highlighting some of the points, and then the questioning begins. Now, in the observation form, on the observation form, page number 5, you see that you have inner, outer discussion circle. So you write your name and your partner, and then you shade. So as your partner speaks, you shade. The first box. You shade 1. Whenever your partner speaks, you shade. Whenever your partner speaks, you shade. Looks at the person who is speaking. Whenever your partner establishes eye contact with the person who is speaking, you shade. Alright? Refers to the text. Whenever your partner makes submissions referring to the text, you shade. So you'll be shading. Ask questions, you shade. Up until the end point. And then the grading. It says 4 excellent, 3 good, 2 poor, 1 unsatisfactory. So that's what we're going to grade. So again, you have the name and then the topic of question, which is, the topic is can't attempt to define beauty and welfare. So you can write. So if you think you studied the test carefully and took notes in advance, that is your own self-assessment. Wow. So in your own self-assessment, if you think you studied the test carefully and took notes in advance, you score yourself. And remember, those scoring will compare to what your partner has scored you, plus the video, to see whether you're being genuine. I contributed several relevant comments. Again, you score yourself. Self-critique is not a bad thing. You know, it's for you to know how you're performing. And then you give yourself overall score. Then you can set up your goals. 2 goals I have for our next seminar. So you have to set up your own goals. Obviously, the next seminar will be another group presenting, but you can take what you think you could do, you know, in the next seminar, and then you can pick it up from maybe someone else. And then this is for the group. So those of us who are scoring, we can also score the group on page 8. The group used the text as a reference throughout the Socratic seminar. So if you think the group did that, you know, you give score, you leave that. And then the rest of it, you grade the group. And then the last one, clarifies for a better understanding, etc. I mean, those ones can also pass it.
Are you in a group?
In a group. Alright. How nice. Our first day and the light is gone. Really.
Career of clarification.
Yeah.
Those of us who are not members of the group,
Yeah.
who are the observers, are supposed to be ranking them.
Yeah.
Do we have are we supposed to ask questions or that question
You'll be jotting down after the session. We will do observations. So you guys will pass comments. Yeah, what you think the group could have done. Maybe somebody was making valid points, so we'll make those contributions. You understand? That is after the group. But then we have the hot seat. If you think you are so passionate about the thing that you think you have more mojo to push the group going, you can jump into the hot seat and make those contributions. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, so we have the hot seat. If you feel that you can just draw our attention, and then the group leader, you ask the group leader's attention, if they will admit you to the hot seat, you come and sit. Whenever we have the session, we have a hot seat.
So one of the persons
a sitting
session.
Well, we may decide to give maybe 5 minutes contribution and then they jump. Or what do you think? Should the person sit throughout? Yeah, we'll give you 5 minutes. So, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So let's establish who our partners are first of all, so that I can write down. So maybe you write your name and your partner and you write so that we can follow through. Or should I ask them to go around to take? Maybe one person can do it. Or if you know your partner, you write your name and who the partners are. In line like this. It's a group. Now, maybe the partners, you know the partners groups, but I can refer to the list of it. Yeah. So how many of you?
Oh, no, I read.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you are reading because
Yeah.
Pastor is not in.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
So, okay.
I did. Yeah.
You got a test, right? Yeah, that's good. And you read about it. So you know what we did.
You have to be great.
Yeah. So what we're doing is that the group that is presenting, the group leader will read a text, and then the group get going. Now, each of you have your partners. So the partner is for up to the end of the semester, the session, the semester. So you're marking the partner. So if your partner is there, and you're observing the question that she's asking, the facials, how she comes in to make submissions, everything about communication. Yeah, so you observe my person. Yeah, you can sit there. You can even join me here. You can join me here. Yeah. So because you're supposed to have almost three partners in it, because it's three groups. Yeah. You understand? Because if you have a group of 4, is it 4 or 3 or?
Yeah,
4 groups of 4, which means you're supposed to have 3 partners in addition to you.
So one person in each.
So what
In every group, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get a point. So that when it's their turn, we don't have to do it again.
No, with her.
Yeah. So you join. You are not in the same group. Right? Okay. So once you're not in the same group, you can be partners. But the only problem is that your partners are gender biased. That's thing I don't want. So 3 women. Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with that one. You know. So
maybe after this session
we can do it. Okay, we can sort it.
Seriously, we have to repeat this. This is just
Okay. If that's the case, let's do this, and then you do it again.
Yes, everybody should get involved.
But at least you should have an idea. So this is like a test run.
Yes, for everybody.
That's good. So position yourself. No, don't worry. The tests are all going to be fun tests.
No, that's all.
So what's it again? Are you the one shooting throughout that?
We have to.
Yeah.
Formal.
No, I want to.
You don't want to have.
No, but when you present, obviously you're not going to present it, but it's going to be another. That's why we make it the group that is presented has to be. So this is a test plan we are going.
Okay, so the next time we present.
The individual one is. I've got only one person sent the dissertation talk. I've not had any, I have only one person who submitted the dissertation talk for the individual. So please send them to me so that I can put them in the schedule. So that we can arrange who presents. It's too warm.
It's very warm.
And let me say that if you seem to have some interesting text as well, you can send me. and then we can use it. Maybe you have read some very nice novel, and you think the text is interesting. It's not boring. I don't want boring text.
Not necessarily related to
Any text at all, yeah. Any topic that is interesting, fun to read. And it's sizable, not too much. You can send me. I'll use it for the session. We'll send everybody and then you can use it. Because the idea is we need to broaden our scope. So, I love philosophy. So if you think you have other texts that you think we can use. But the text has to be a little bit intriguing. It shouldn't be too obvious. It has to be something. So we have the what's the third and fourth factors? Yeah. We don't have. Okay, so we'll get them. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we'll do them. Okay, so at the moment we have Abokuma and Ivy as partners. We have Na Dede and Kobe Mensa, and Betha, and Edmond. Betha and Edmond. Okay. We have Selassie and Richmond Selassie. And we have Ni Adope and Evangeline. Yeah, okay. So the rest of it, but we don't have.
She lives everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So the two of you, are you in the same group? Yeah, the group. Which group are you in? Because we need to have.
But I think since this one is a test,
Test drive. When do we finish?
there are 5, we are also 5, we can stand in.
Stand in there.
Yeah.
Only like 5.
Yeah. Okay, so the understanding is after we can then do that as listed. Yeah. So we don't have to do this. We start at 6:30, right? Or we should start? 6:30. I mean, group leader, how long do you think you should do? 30 minutes.
1 hour.
The class finishes at 8:30. So we can allow ourselves half an hour for observation, like the outer group to ask questions. So you are here.